All right, how all welcome to my channel. Let's start off by saying that the trade is finished. The trade deadline is finished. There are some winners, there are some losers. I think the biggest winner, of course, like outside of the Spurs getting DeAndre Fox, of course, like the swap between the Lakers and the Mavericks. I think the one that might play a bigger factor more than anything else is the two teams I think won more for now maybe than before. I would say it's probably the Cavs. Quite honestly, the fact that they got DeAndre Hunter is kind of a big thing because DeAndre Hunter with the rest of the team at the way the Cavs are playing right now, it's a big factor, and I think this actually gets them just a step above maybe the Celtics. Not as close. Not I don't know to a point of if they play against the Celtics in Game 7 of a conference finals, will the Cavs be able to beat them? I don't know about that, but this has definitely dramatically improved them, that trade to getting DeAndre Hunter. And then the other aspect is like the fact that the Bucks got Kyle Kuzma is a little bit surprising in and of itself, because I mean, honestly, I didn't think that was going to happen, but it did. And the fact they also got Jericho Sims. Now, as a Knicks fan, I know I was hoping Jericho Sims could stay around and maybe develop even more, and maybe trade off Mitch Robinson, because quite honestly, Mitch is every year seems to get injured. So it's like that injury factor. That's the problem. But once he's good, once he's healthy, he turns out to be really good. But he's not. And Jericho Sims, Precious came into the point where like at least he's showing he's worthwhile to stay with the Knicks. Jarrett Sims, when he had the shot, when they were both injured, he didn't really step up, and that's the sad part about it. I mean, maybe it's a case where maybe the Bucks help him out in the long term, but the fact that they got Kyle Kuzma actually adds more to it, basically, to the point where like if I remember correctly, I got to look at to see what the standings are. Quite honestly with you, because I forgot the standings. I know the Knicks are like third. All right, the Pacers are like 4, and the Bucks are 5th place. Let's be honest, the Bucks were a little bit below. In the kind of at the time during the time they were in the play-in round, basically, or the play-in. So basically, the fact that they're number 5. Don't be surprised that they jump ahead and bypass the Pacers and be number 4 at this point. It's a little interesting to see how the other aspects of the other trades came in play, like the Hawks getting Bogdanovich. The Clippers getting Bogdanovich. That might help them jump into the get him into the play-in run at that point. But the thing is like they're. Well, actually, no. They are in the. They are in the play-in round. Basically, it comes down to, sadly enough, between the Warriors, Kings, and Suns. The Suns didn't make any real moves. The Kings, by losing DeAndre Fox, I think they probably dropped down now. But the fact is like you got the Warriors, where they got Jimmy Butler. That changes the thing dramatically, as well as the fact that the Spurs got DeAndre Fox. It's going to change the play-in round, but maybe even against the Suns themselves too. Unless Kevin Durant and Booker does something, they might play out of it. Basically, sad to say, but that looks like what's going to happen. Because do not be surprised if the Warriors go far, because once Butler is healthy, he might not entirely fit with the Warriors' scheme of things, but when he's on, and he knows how to defer. So the fact of the matter is like he'll probably get most of the double teaming, and that will definitely free up Curry. If not Curry, at least Draymond Green for that matter. So like it's going to be between both Curry and Butler at this point. So Butler stays healthy in the playoffs. If they were to be playing around, they could go pretty far. Let's be honest. Yesterday's game when the Warriors went against the Lakers, it could have been a close game. Let's be honest. It could have been a close game if they started out correctly. But the problem is the Lakers came out guns a-blazing. So the Warriors put themselves in a hole considerably at that point. Had they maintained what they were, they could have potentially beaten the Lakers, quite honestly. They could have beaten the Lakers. Now, when Luka comes back, the question comes down to this: is like, I don't know how the dynamic between him and James will work. I have a sad feeling it's probably going to be the exact same way with the Mavericks were 2 years ago when Kyrie Irving was with them, where Kyrie and Luka didn't want to basically overstep their bounds, so they were passing the ball to each other practically, and none of them was taking a shot. Eventually, they got into a groove, and then they went into the finals last year. This year, I don't know if that's going to be the case. It'll be interesting to see how that works out, quite honestly, because I think it'll take a while because, like James, when he was with the Miami Heat at the time with Dwayne Wade, first year they had a hard time kind of figuring out things, and that's why they didn't do really so well in the finals, of course. But they were still figuring things. They were still trying to figure things out until eventually they did. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out in this dynamics. Will James take the reins as like, hey, Luka, I'm taking the ball. You're number 2 for now. I'm Batman. You're Robin. And then eventually you'll become the Batman at that point. But we'll wait and see. Now the Spurs is another team we got to look at closely as well too, because now with DeAndre Fox, that sets them up for not only for now but also the future. Because DeAndre Fox with Wembanyama basically, as well as Chris Paul a little bit. Now Chris Paul, I think, can offer that mentorship aspect of things, but it's going to be mostly DeAndre Fox that will probably lead them to the playoffs at that point and probably go deep into the playoffs. It gives them a hell of a lot for the future for the next couple of years anyways, for sure. The Rockets, I'm a little surprised that they're actually this far ahead, basically, quite honestly, because I thought for sure the Timberwolves would be number 4 at this point, because the Thunder being number 1 made sense. Grizzlies and Nuggets, I thought those two were going to flip back and forth. I thought it was going to be the Nuggets more than anything else than the Grizzlies. Yeah, Ja Morant basically is helping them out, but the Timberwolves, I think they're finally starting to find their groove a little bit. There were talks of Randall being traded, but honestly, I didn't see that happening because I think once they found their groove, things will start snapping in, and they are sort of in ways. The Lakers, like I said, again, it will be interesting to see. The Suns, I have a feeling they're going to play themselves out. The Mavericks, that will be interesting as well too, because you got Kyrie, AD, and Clay. It'll be interesting to see how far they can go at that point as well too. With the Clippers, honestly, yeah, you got Harden, you've got Kawhi, but honestly, Kawhi, if he's not healthy, they're not going far. Harden might be able to get him a little bit into it, but not that much. Like it was just like with the Nets. Bogdanovich might be able to help them. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see how that works out. But again, the fact of the matter is the fact that the Bucks were able to get Kuzma, Jericho Sims, which I don't know if it plays out, but also Kevin Porter Jr. as well too. Probably helps them out in the long run. I'm not exactly sure how what the Suns help out by getting Mitchell and Martin. May or may not come out until in the short term. Long term, I think they might have to do a rebuild. The Wizards getting Smart, it's a great aspect for them to getting a defensive player, but the thing is like the Wizards, I can't see them going far, quite honestly. I mean, maybe helps them get to the 12th seed, basically, but that's as far as it go. I don't see them getting beyond that point. They probably have to do another rebuild at this point, similar to the Hornets, Nets. They didn't do much. The 76ers, I thought maybe they could have made another trade for someone, but because Embiid is a little injured, of course. You've got Paul George, who could be injured as well, too, and then you got Maxey. So Embiid healthy plays a huge factor. Honestly, I thought Embiid probably, looking back at it now, I would be the 76ers. I would be pissed off because I probably would have traded Joel Embiid for a Luka Doncic. I think Luka would have done really well with the 76ers. And, Embiid wanting that last run, probably the Sixers are like, you know what, let's give him a shot with it. Because Embiid, healthy, is really dominant. Like the most dominant person that's out there at that point. I mean, honestly, I think Paul George, his age is showing at this point, honestly. So I don't see, them getting that far. unless Embiid is really healthy, it will change the dynamics of the team at that point. The Heat, I hate to say it, but like without Butler, I look for them to fall into the play-in seat at that point because I don't see them getting far at that point. The Bulls, yeah, I'm not too concerned about them. Honestly, the one thing though I'll be surprised is if Luka Doncic does not re-sign with the Lakers for a contract extension. Look, he might just go right to the Heat, honestly, because like Riley might try to lure him away from the Lakers, just like the way Riley lured Shaq from the Lakers to bring Shaq to the Heat. I wouldn't be surprised if he, lures Doncic away. If I'm the Bulls, I use that allure of the Jordan-esque Pippen aspect of things. Like, hey, look, and Derrick Rose. It's like, hey, look, these guys were unbelievable. We treated them right. Well, they didn't treat them right, but you come on, join us. But the problem is like I don't think he's gonna be too happy working for Reidensdorf, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. But in any case, with the Knicks, yeah, they got. I mean, I'm trying to see who else they got. Honestly, outside of trading, when they traded Sims away, I mean, does it help him in the long term? Not really. Does it help him in the short term, honestly, as well too? I don't know. With Wright, it's hard to say honestly because yeah, Wright. I don't know. If they got a draft pick, that would have been great, but I don't know if that would have helped him out in the short term because honestly, what the thing is like unless Robinson comes back from his injury and plays to his capabilities, I don't think the Knicks can get that far. Unless, of course, again, of course, if Jalen Rose, I mean not Jalen Rose, if Jalen Brunson proves me wrong, again, Jalen Brunson proves me wrong and brings him up to, the number one seed, not the number one, but into the conference finals to make himself a tier one, then yeah. But honestly, yeah, I don't see much happening there, to be quite honest, more than anything else. But outside of that, I'll leave it at that. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, I do ask you to subscribe to this channel. You're welcome to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I do read all my comments and I do respond to them. Let me know your thoughts and what you think of my analysis. I mean, I should have some numbers, but I didn't. But in any case, let me know your thoughts. With that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.